next morning, Jacopo stood alone in the den by the billiards table. Right, so he just destroyed the garden. He appeared to be rather agitated. His face was twisted into a frown, and his pointer finger tapping restlessly against the hard surface on the table. Evidently no longer able to stay in one place, he paced the circle around the table, then swiped up a rack and a cue, setting up a game of 9-ball. I'm not intimately familiar with the ways by which men entertain themselves, but in truth I was bewitched by the sight of him leaning over the table. It almost seemed as though a steel rod ran straight from his shoulder to the tip of his outstretched finger, upon which the cue was secured by another finger looped over it. With a smooth flowing motion, he thrust the cue forward slightly, pulling it back and repeating the process once more, before ramming into the cue ball, sending it rolling into the diamond of colored balls. A chorus of clicks and clacks emanated from the center of the room. Balls collided with one another and ricocheted off the cushioned walls, a few landing in the pockets situated around the edge of the table. Jacopo appeared to have accomplished this with little trouble, but I imagine merely striking the cue ball with a stick would be rather difficult for someone inexperienced. But despite his accomplishment, it seemed to only exacerbate his agitation. Lousy positioning, he muttered, although I hadn't the faintest idea what he was talking about. What should have been a game for his enjoyment, he went about with a constant look of exasperation. I suspect he was using it as a way to blow off steam. As a result, the tension in the air was palpable. It felt to be improper to intrude on him, even considering my distaste for the man. There was an undeniable beauty in every motion he made, every perfect audible clack of billiards balls bouncing off one another. It was an enchanting sight, but then someone without the slightest regard or appreciation for beauty came marching in with a hammer to shatter it like glass. Gotta say, that's pretty impressive. A man leaned against the frame of the open door. He was neither a resident nor a worker of the mansion. The man's face was covered in scraggly stubble, his body draped in grime-caked garments. His eyes were sunken so deep I thought he was looking at a fleshless skull, though there was a feral glimmer in them. Needless to say, he was not prim and proper. How long have you been there? Not long, but man, I can't help laughing. You were completely in your own world there. What do you want? Why didn't you send a mail for me? Don't be such a hard ass. We ain't strangers, man. Why should a family have to go through maids to see you? This just ain't right, brother. Your door should always be open for family. Enough. I'm not your family. Run by something even stronger than blood. By our family, our Koska. Don't. You only ever bring up the Koska when it's in your interest. Ooh, scary. Come on now, what happened to you, little Jack? Where'd the little boy who used to call me Uncle Tommy go? Don't you dare use that godforsaken name. Get the hell out of my sight. What in God's name are you doing here? The man hailed from the same country as Jacopo. They had a peculiar relationship. Though they were not blood related, he referred to Jacopo as family. They came from a sunny island in the Mediterranean Sea, a place of many unique customs, and an entire underground society. Costco was the word that originated from and referred to those underworld families. It would be another 30 so years before organizations like theirs received much public attention. At the time, they were not widely known. Just a short step into the future and they would grow so powerful the very mention of them would send a chill through the room. Hey now, that's no way to talk about a fellow Berzati. You're on the short list to become the next capo famiglia. We respect our brothers, that's how we operate. I could go home and say you threw me out of your house. How'd you like those rumors spread? The soon-to-be capo famiglia wouldn't even listen to a little request. Very much doubt anything you said could damage my reputation. I ain't been exiled yet. As long as I'm still one of them, they won't ignore me. Oh, that's some mighty fine-looking whiskey you got there. Don't mind if I do. Nothing here is for you to drink. Booze is my lifeblood, man. No love for a brother? You worthless leech. Surely it won't be long before you find yourself in exile. If you're lucky enough to get off the hook with just exile, that is. Charles could snap that scrawny neck of yours. If I'm gonna go, I'd rather go tied up, tortured for days, covered in tiny little cuts from head to toe. You sick bastard, you disgust me. Call me a carnal adventurer. I despise the mundane. Last thing I want is to go out like a wet fart. Is this what you came for? To waste my time with your insipid nonsense? Oh, hardly. Surely you have an idea what I'm here for, and how much I need. You damned maggot. A worthless leech, bastard, and a damn maggot. What other names have you got up your sleeve for me? You son of a... Do you honestly think this is how you ask for a favor? Whoops, excuse me. I beg of thee, O esteemed future capo famiglia. I'm bone broke, not even enough money to put bread on the table. Could you spare a little for a brother? You brought this on yourself, I'm sure. I hear more than enough stories about you, hardly any of them pleasant. Drinking, gambling, debauchery. It's humiliating to be in the same Costco as you. You want to make money playing, you gotta learn the game first. Says the worm who played himself into oblivion. Now, do you honestly believe I'll give you anything? Oh, but you will, you got no choice. Costco rules, you're required to help a fellow countryman, especially considering how few of us there are stranded on this colossal landmass. You won't even notice the money's missing. It ain't because you can't, but because you don't wanna. But Jacobo, being a tight ass is nothing for you. Me coming to you for help keeps your good name clean. That's the thing about being boss. You quietly keep the little shits like me out of trouble, so that trouble don't come raining back on you. You don't seem to understand your place. Rather than lecturing me, you should be on your hands and knees, begging and crying for my help. If that's what you want, I'll gladly comply. Happy to kiss your boots while I'm at it. Don't even think about it. Know this, there won't be a second time. I will be reporting your conduct to the family back home. I look forward to seeing how they deal with you. Just try and have a little mercy, would you? Hey, is there a maid around? It doesn't matter who. How may I serve you, master? Get a single stack from the safe. Here's the key. Goes without saying, but don't touch anything else. Give the money to that man, and you're escorting him out the door. As you wish. Is that all you needed? Yes, now get to it. Very well, excuse me. Well, that's one looker of a maid you got there, but there's something, I don't know, eerie, strange about her. Fancy that, we agree on something. How long's she been working here? Couldn't tell you. As I recall, she came with the house. Is that the kind of woman you fancy? A gal you can't read will always be interested. Is that so? Now that he mentions it, how old is that woman? I suppose it doesn't much matter. Oh yeah, Jacopo. The other thing I want to talk to you about. What is it this time? If it's more of your blather, I will shoot you dead where you stand. I don't know, no need for threats. This one's about your better half. What about my wife? Well, to put it simply, yeah. She came to me asking for advice, looking a little distressed. My wife asked you for advice? Yep. From the sounds of it, you're pretty rough on the little lady. That just ain't right, man. You managed to snag yourself a broad that pretty, you ought to treat her at least a little better, you hear? She looks good with a smile. You gotta make her show it to you every once in a while. Why would she come to you about that? Don't ask me, maybe she ain't got no one else to talk to? And you know, for whatever it's worth, I am part of the same Costco. Guessing she thought I'd get through to you easier? Really, you have to put a little more thought into how you act around her, and she'll be smiling for you like always. Oh yeah, I've got just the thing. Women love this stuff. I'm sure she'll be thrilled. Is that perfume? Haven't you heard everyone's talking about it? I'm a big fan of the stuff too. Smells great. Pretty girl smiles at you wearing some of this, and any man would be in love in an instant. You've never given her nothing fashionable before, have you? May look like just scented water, but you can't let that fool you. Go on, give it to her. You like a nice smelling lady too, don't you? A little bit of scent can give a different flavor to your nighttime excitement, hee hee. Vanilla. Well, I've said my piece, so I'll be taking my leave. Don't want to keep your maid waiting too long on her gown bad as I. Hold on, Tommaso. Why would she make it last? That's all I wanted your advice. That's all the advice your Uncle Tommy has for you, shall. Wait, Tommaso. He thinks that she's like cheating with him. Go after him. It would be a simple task to catch him. Grab him by the neck and make him tell me. Tell me where he spoke to her, what she told him. But why? Why will my legs not move? Ask him for advice. Fashion will perfume her smile. She looks good with a smile. She'll be smiling for you like always. That can't be. She hardly ever smiles around me. But she'll smile for him? Last night when she was short of breath, having such a grand time wearing that perfume, getting ready to leave the house. Just who is that smile for? God damn it. Don't you think I'll let you run free any longer? His eyebrows were furrowed, creating deep creases on his forehead. Several servants stood off to the side, watching their master attentively as he stomped past them down the corridor. However, no one said a word to him. Had I not been preoccupied attending to his countrymen, I likely could have prevented it. The look on his face would have made it obvious something bad was about to happen. Something that would serve only to further her misfortune. She was already in a less than ideal situation, and it was perched on the edge of a hill, soon to begin rolling down into even worse territory. Jacopo, what's the matter? If you wanted to visit, you could have said something rather than coming in without knocking. Is that really necessary? Pardon? Boy. Is there something you should desperately want to keep from me that I must knock before entering? That I should have to let you know in advance I'm coming? Well, what are you? Well, is there? You went to talk to him behind my back, I'm told. What'd you tell him? You moaned to him about my behavior. Aww. Ah, that hurts. You told him I'm rough with you? You cried on his shoulder because I'm not nice enough? Him of all people? Wait, Jacopo, you're mistaken. Let me... Silence, not a word, not a single godforsaken word. The only thing that comes out of your mouth is excuses, lies, and fabrication. Put on this sweet little innocent girl act. What's really going through your head? Maybe I should just rip that mask off your face. Stop, Jacopo. You look down on me, your nobility. I'm just a nobody who married into it. No, stop, let go of me, please. When did it start? How long have you been seeing him? Who else have you been seeing? Cover yourself in fashionable perfume and smiling, even though you never smile around me. Please let me go. I can see it in your eyes. He's just a worthless commoner. Why would you think that? Why will you not listen to me? Silence, it's all your fault, every last thing. I tell you not to leave the house, but you do. I tell you to do as I say, but you ignore me. Every last thing you do drives me mad. I don't have time right now to deal with this, to rack my mind over you, a woman. I don't have time for it. Why would you not do as I say? So you don't have enough already, huh? Mind blast that man. You'll not be satisfied until you've taken my arms and legs. Given you money, clothing, everything, you have an incredible life. Look around you, the life of luxury your parents wanted. It's right here, you have it. More could you possibly want? Why do you insist on being unfaithful? Unfaithful? You think that what I'm doing is unfaithful to you? How else should I describe it? You leave your room despite me ordering you not to? Don't think I don't know. When you came to the den the other day, you had your eyes on the other men. No, I did not. I had no such inclination. Not another word. Enough from you. I have no interest in your excuses. If that's how you're gonna act, then say goodbye to your freedom. Or to your room for that matter. Or even speaking to the servants. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll make you a new room. Too many people come in and out of this one. Be somewhere quieter, out of the way. You're like a garden. How about I put it in there? If you leave the room without my permission this time, I'll kill you. Why will you not listen to me? Jacopo, the master of the house, likely loved the white-haired girl. That is what I saw in their exchange. Normally, love is supposed to be a sweet, warm, wonderful emotion. It makes you care for or value the person even more than yourself. But it was the exact opposite for him. I never knew that love could be such a painful thing. How did his love end up so twisted? What did he expect to happen by confining and abusing the woman he loved? Perhaps he was conscious of that. To be human is to sometimes find oneself driven by uncontrollable internal impulses. A few days later, Jacopo dragged the white-haired girl from her chamber and led her outside. The garden she had once loved was now a thing of the past. It had become a dreary space, nary a rose in sight. Being taken there did nothing to improve her mood, only sadden her further. The cold, gray piles of metal freckling the barren earth seemed to mock her. Her husband led her, the lady of the house, to a shed that had been repurposed into a Spartan living area. She begged and pleaded, but Jacopo would not have it. He shoved her into the sad little shack and locked the door. How did things end up this way? Why? All I wanted, to go back to the way things used to be, for us to be able to smile around each other. Been several days since Jacob would locked her in the shed, and her day-to-day life was only growing more arduous. She was under constant surveillance. The door was only unlocked to deliver her meals 3 times a day. Despite what an unfortunate situation their employer's wife found herself in, the maids chattered and gossiped and giggled freely. Not even in the shadows, out of her presence, the tactless young maidservants whispered directly to the white-haired girl when they brought her meals. "Look at you, madam, caged away like cattle." You could almost hear the sound of cracks forming in her heart. I imagined she had gotten to the point where she was having difficulty merely holding herself together. She had done nothing wrong, yet she was forced to live this life of insults and mockery, of ridicule. The only reason her tenuously held together spirits not completely shattered is because she still had her one and only ally. The maid Maria volunteered to attend to the white-haired girl. Maria took over the duty of delivering her 3 meals, meaning the other maids stopped coming by, and that relieved the white-haired girl's mental and emotional stress considerably. Maria became her sole conversational partner, her sole companion. She did not leave as soon as meals were finished, instead remaining in the shed with the white-haired girl for some time. So, madam, how about a funny story? I flipped pretty hard the other day. You want to hear about that? So a couple days back, I didn't get enough sleep the previous night, right? I'm helping out in the kitchen, half awake, plating up some food. When I bring it out to the guests, my heart about leaps out of my mouth. Guess why? Both of them going. What I thought was a plate was actually an ashtray. Man, I was sweating like a pig. Guests didn't seem to notice, but the other maids were pale as ghosts the entire time. Just about everyone had themselves a case of the vapors. I got quite the tongue lashing at cleanup. Pretty funny, huh? Oh, did you? Sounds like it was a pretty bad day. Yeah. Hey, madam, I know there's some point to telling you to cheer up right now, but I'm sure he won't keep you locked up forever. He's just a bit crabby for now. It'll be alright, although I guess this is a bit drastic for a temper tantrum. I'm sorry, madam. If only I had pushed him a bit harder. If only I had a little more influence, he might not be in this situation. Thought I could be of some help, but I guess I'm not doing a great job of that. Of course not, Maria. You absolutely are. Just you being here takes a great weight off my shoulders. Still, though, I feel so worthless. Because I'm just a maid, I can't set you free. It's okay. I'm used to being imprisoned. What? What do you mean you're used to it? He's never locked your door before. You're right. I'm not sure why, but I feel as though I've been in a similar predicament before. Lacking freedom and contact with others for a long stretch of time. I'm sure it's simply the exhaustion getting to you, madam. Yeah, I'm thinking past lives, maybe. No one should ever be used to living like this. Yes, I agree. And I pray things go back to the way they were soon. Has getting mad at him never crossed your mind? Getting mad? Yeah, you know when he yells, you yell back, you let him know he's in the wrong. Never considered doing that? I guess you're not one to get angry, madam. Which would mean you're a better fit for the Holy Mother than me. Oh no. I do sometimes want to get angry. Tell you the truth, it's almost always going through my mind how, if I did raise my voice, perhaps he would listen to what I have to say. But I'm standing there in front of him and he starts shouting at me. I freeze up and end up not saying a word. I'm just such a pitiful woman, everything about me. When I need to speak up most, stand up for myself, I cannot. Oh, don't look so down. That's not a bad thing. It's just got you a little bit of a pickle right now, but it'll clear everything up with him, won't you hear me? My mind, your modesty is a virtue, and the more I think about it, I can't imagine you screaming. I like you better the way you are, reserved and ladylike. You can leave all the yelling to me. I'll do whatever I can to help you, madam. Were you able to clear up his confusion about the night we were dancing? Oh, about that. Sorry, he just wouldn't hear it. I see. But I'm not throwing in the towel. I'm keep trying as long as it takes, so... Say, Maria, can I perhaps ask for another favor? Yeah, sure, let me have it. I would like to write him a letter. A letter? Someone who lives in the same house? Yes. As things stand, I cannot simply go visit him on a whim, and it feels like I could calmly express on paper things I'm unable to say to him face to face. I suspect I might have more luck that way. I also believe he would be more likely to maintain his composure reading my thoughts in a letter than hearing them from my mouth. With it, I can clear up all the confusion, and things can go back to the way they were. A letter, huh? Interesting. I'll write a letter, which I would like you to deliver to him. May I ask that of you? Absolutely, not a problem. Thank you, Maria. You're the only person I can count on, and I mean that. Why? How'd this happen? Why would she betray me? I wanted to give her a decent, happy life. I didn't want to get violent with her. When I saw her face, when I heard what she had to say, I couldn't restrain myself. I guess when it comes down to that, no matter how you dress it up, I'm still a Berzati. There's never any way for this bloodline to give that girl happiness. God damn it, why am I fretting over this nonsense? And I'm supposed to be the future head, huh? An illusion. But they're dancing, they really are, and they look like they're having a wonderful time. Are you sure it's an illusion, not something else? To me, it does not seem to be. I cannot see it as anything but two tiny people dancing. That's how it works. Reach your hand out and try to grab them. You won't be able to. Oh, you're right. That's a shame. I didn't think you actually would. But it's the most precious thing. Hee hee. They look as though they're dancing atop my palm. It's almost frightening how much innocent rests within those hands. It's as if they've been completely cut off from all the world's filth. My hands, however, are soaked in blood. Fear that bringing her into my world may taint her. Am I capable of protecting this woman's purity? And yet, I watched her so joyously playing, and I felt as though I'd gotten close to her. I was the one being a child that day. Jacopo, it's me, Maria. Is it alright if I come in? Ah, Maria. It's fine, come in. Alrighty. Color me surprised. I didn't think you'd let me in. Have I ever denied you access to my room? Why is this? Uh-oh, I thought she was supposed to help. Nope, but you've been looking pretty glum lately. I never expected to be a cheery man. Haha, true enough. Now you told me before not to talk about your wife, but I'm gonna stick my nose where it doesn't belong today. There's been a lot of chatter among the ladies about you getting rough with her. I mean, you've got the poor thing locked up in the shed outside. I felt like that letter was never getting to him, but I didn't want to say. Hee I just messing around. Yeah, I had that feeling too strange. I was thinking that you're not leaving the best impression on anyone. You're here to box my ears. I don't know, 50-50. The other half is I'm concerned about you. I know you're not the kind of man to threaten someone without a good reason. You're not. I thought you were friends with her. I am, and it hurts to see her in so much pain. Then why does that not change the way you act around me? I would think you'd be scorning me with the rest of the maidens. Oh, I see how it is. You don't trust me. And we've known each other for so long. This isn't a question of whose side I'm on. You're in pain too, I can see that. You're always bottling things up, keeping them hidden. You're too proud to rely on others. But you should probably vent to someone before it reaches the point where you no longer can. Say, Jacopo, do you remember the promise we made a while back? How far back? Back when you were still shorter than me. You're 14, I was 12. I had to leave town and you came to see me off. Quite frankly, I didn't think you'd come. I was surprised even if I didn't show it. Oh, does she like him or something? Oh, jeez. I feel like I'm trying to figure out a puzzle that doesn't make sense, but then there's kids in the corner snickering, going, uh-oh, not that one. Yeah? Jacopo? Where's your dad? Or are you here alone? He didn't even tell me. There's no reason you have to leave town. My old man says the Campanellas have more power. I should be the one leaving. It's not that simple. Grown-ups have a lot to consider. So don't give me that look, Jacopo. We were kids, but we'd both kind of started to catch on to the situation with our families and to the bonds that land held on us. Although we didn't know any of the details at the time. My grandpa owned the land the city was built on, but he was a very conservative man. He didn't try to spread his influence, instead opting to fortify what he already had. I don't know exactly when it first started, but organizations were used to administrate cities. And when we were kids, my dad was the capo famiglia, and my grandpa was his concierge. Consigliere? I don't know. Fucking words. But just because he was an advisor didn't mean he was powerless. My dad made the decisions. My grandpa was the only one allowed to fight him on them. Father was a capo di Sena that served under my dad. He wasn't especially happy about that. But parents quarreling doesn't affect the kids, or at least that's what I thought at the time. That's what you probably thought too. But there is still a chance we could be caught up in the crossfire, so my dad still decided to send me and my mom away. Off the island to the north were some more prosperous areas. He thought that by sending us there we could live our lives clean, regardless of where we came from. There's no changing what's in your blood, though. Could have told me too. Or were you planning on leaving without saying anything? No, it was just all decided so quickly. Why do you sound so accepting? Adults have a lot to consider, you bet they do, but you could at least let them know you're opposed to it, Maria. But no, your tail went straight between your legs as soon as you were told. You just gave up and accepted it straight away. I thought you were better than that. You think I don't know that? But I'll just be my dad's way if I stay. I'm a kid, a girl. I wouldn't be of any help if something happened, and I don't want someone to protect me. I've never once thought of you as a girl. Hey, now that's mean. Oh geez, thanks Jacob. Oh, now you're getting me all mushy too. If anyone should be sad here, it's me. I'm not sad. Oh really? You sure you're not actually torn and won't be around anymore? You're a huge crybaby after all, Jacopino. Hey, when have I ever cried? And don't call me that. Haha, I made you mad. Short fuse as ever, I see. Gotta learn to keep your head. You're a man, heir to the Berzotti family. Don't you lecture me. So pig-headed. You could at least listen to me this once before I'm gone. Hey Maria, got a little time to spare? Yeah, sure, but not much. The carriage is gonna be here soon. Do you have enough to trip for the hill and back? Yeah, I should have time for that. Because of our families, we weren't really able to get along with the other kids in the city. So we played a lot up at the top of that hill. It became kind of like our little secret lair. There was an abandoned house there. I guess an old farmhouse or something. And the kids love that sort of thing, you know? We call it Casa Nostra, our home, and we pretended it was actually ours. We drew circles on the wall in chalk and used it for target practice. We brought up a bale of straw and used it to make makeshift beds. When either of us got into fights with our parents, we'd stay the night here instead of home. In retrospect, I'm sure they knew where we were going and just let us do our thing. Oh yeah, there was even this one time we were playing and a huge storm rolled in, trapping us there. The wind wasn't just howling, it was screaming bloody murder. It was blowing so hard I thought the house might fly away. As I recall, you were crying that night. Hey Nero, are you here to see me off too? Oh, there you are wagging your tail with that dumb look on your face. You have no idea what's going on, do you? It wasn't just the two of us who made Casa Nostra our home base, though. There were more. One more, a stray black dog. I'm pretty sure it didn't actually have black fur, though, and was just really, really dirty. Of course he doesn't. He's a stupid animal. Oh, don't talk about him like that. He's one of us. What were you planning to do about Nero? Just leave him behind? Nothing else I can do. Can't bring a dog in the carriage. Besides, you're here, so it'll be fine. You'll take care of Nero, right? He doesn't like me. You're the only one who can take care of him. Maybe so, but I'm not coming back. He'll starve to death if you don't figure something out. He's a puny rat. I doubt he could win in a fight for scraps. Come on, do it for me. You said you won't be You said you won't be coming back. Did you mean that? Are you absolutely certain? Are you absolutely never returning to this town? There's no telling what may or may not happen, so it's best not to get your hopes up. Better than the pain of getting let down. Well, I've turned into quite the cynic, huh? Maybe if I'd been born into a more normal family, I'd be in my room in a pile of dolls right about now, my head in the clouds. I can't imagine you doing that, nor do I think that's normal. Haha, well said. Hey, stop that, Nero. Quit licking me. Haha, that tickles, and you reek. Maria, what is it? Come back. I don't care if you don't know what it'll be, just don't say you'll never return. No one knows how things are gonna end up. Maybe an old man will gain more power, maybe yours will. things continue as they are, it'll be your old man. Then down the line, I'll work in service of the Campanella family. And that's just fine by me. But even if it's not the future that lies ahead, I promise I will make a place for you. So Maria, question. Do you have a crush on me? What? Kidding, I'm just kidding. No need for a conniption fit, I was just playing around. Here I am trying to have a serious conversation, and then you, listen to me, I don't have any of those, those kinds of feelings for you. Consider you a lifelong friend, my one and only friend. That's why I came to see you off, and that's why I'm telling you this now. Whether you're a girl or a boy is irrelevant. Friendship lasts much longer than something so fanciful as romance, am I wrong? Haha. Don't laugh, damn it, it's humiliating. I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing because I agree entirely. Yeah, we've always been on the same page, Jacopo. Maybe we did fight a lot, but there wasn't one we didn't get through. No one else understood how lonely I was, wearing a mask for all the other kids, trying to fit into their happy little circle. We couldn't afford to be found out after all. Neither of us had any real allies, except for each other, of course. Nope. Glad I got the chance to play with you. If you hadn't been there, I probably wouldn't have bothered caring for Nero either. It was too funny watching him chase you around. You're a sick girl, Maria. Haha. So hey, Jacopo, this place will still be Casa Nostra even after I leave, right? You won't do anything to it, will you? Of course not, this is our home. That will always be the plan. Right, thanks. Though you being all nice is kind of creepy, Jacopo. I'm not gonna start snowing, is it? How rude. Well, if you're gonna be like that, I'm not sure I want to give it to you. Huh? Give what, a present? You should have said so sooner. Gimme. You don't have a shred of tact, do you? What's the matter? Come on, what'd you bring? Let me have it, soldier. Oh, Maria, consider this a temporary parting gift. You've been wanting one of these for a while. Oh, is that a cartridge? From a Colt Navy. No way did you swipe it. I'll probably catch hell for it too. Wow, this is amazing. I've always wanted to get my hands on the real thing. This is from the one hanging up in your house, isn't it? The one your dad was bragging about? They just started selling them this year. It's ridiculously hard to get your hands on one, or so I hear. Man, guns from the New World are something else, alright. Just imagining the moment the hammer comes crashing down on the back of this sends chills down my spine. Are you sure you're a girl going crazy over a bullet cartridge? What's the big deal? I like what I like. You'll get in trouble if you don't put this back though, won't you? Don't worry, I'll return it when you return. I won't tell anyone I gave it to you. Okay, well I guess I'll take you up on that then. Thanks, Jacopo. It'll be my treasure. This goes without saying, but don't you lose it. I'm giving it to you as a symbol of our friendship. No matter how far apart we may be, or how much time may pass, or how things play out with our families, we'll always be friends. The cartridge symbolizes that promise. It's a promise, Jacopo. Our families may outwardly hate each other, but I'll always be your friend. I'll always be on your side. Don't you ever go back on those words. I swear upon this glorious cartridge, this historic land, and the names of my ancestors, I shall not make myself a liar. Trust you, Maria. We'll meet again. It may be many years from now, but that won't change a thing. Our friendship will never fade. God, you were adorable back then. Then she shoots him with the magazine he gave her goodbye, old friend. And short to boot, but now you've heard so much. I was flabbergasted when I next saw you. Dressed all fancy from head to toe, you've become quite the smug little bastard, I thought. Sure aren't that little kid anymore. You've quite the memory. Well, yeah, I don't forget my promises, and I'd never forget I said I'd always be on your side. Question is, did you remember? I did. I remember every word you said that day. And as I said, I left Casa Nostra as it was. But it's some quite distance away now. I imagine if we went back and did a little work on it, we could have it looking just like old times. And Nero? About a year after he left, he suddenly disappeared. And just for the record, I did take care of him as you told me to. Guessing he got into a fight with another stray or something. I searched, but I could never find him. Oh well, it has been more than a decade. Not everything's going to be exactly the same. You, however, haven't changed a bit from the girl you were all those years ago. Neither have you. Sure, you seem different on the outside, but at the core, I believe you haven't changed at all. Still the same old Jacopino. Could you not call me that? Ahaha. I have changed quite a bit, unlike you, and I'm well aware of it. Say to Jacopo, do you consider me supportive of everything you could have said? Of course you are. You're constantly supporting me, past and present. You're proof of the existence of a kind friendship that can transcend gender, blood, and any other such distinctions. You know, it's honestly kind of bizarre seeing you without a stick up your ass. Wow, harsh words. Oh, now hear me out. You almost have me blushing there. Anyway, before you put that stick back up there, tell me something. Am I still your only ally? You are. Everyone in the mansion, I'm the only one? Yes. If she would have at least have a little more the madam. I didn't actually intend to treat her like that. Believe me, Jacopo, I know. And from a girl's perspective, what you did is pretty awful. But hey, I'm not a girl according to you anyway. I will always be on your side no matter what. God, I feel as though I'm being consoled. That's what I was going for. Should have never opened up to you. Haha. Hey, now's not probably the best time to read this up, but I have a letter. A letter? Written by the madam here. A letter from my wife? Let me see it. Oh, she gave the letter. What the hell am I reading? Considering keeping it unless she wrote a different letter. I was considering keeping it a secret, but having seen it, I thought hiding it from you only might hurt you more, so I decided it was best to show you. Who is this letter for? It's as if, but that can't. I love you? Who is she writing to? I don't know this man. Take a deep breath, Jacob, and listen to me. The madam is having an affair. What? This is just, ugh. But he was right yet again. Well, I'll pause there. That makes me so mad. That makes me so mad.
Oh, nya 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 nya. I hope you're doing well. I'm chilling myself. I really wanted to play some games, so I decided to stream again today. Yeah. So I want to start out with Fata Morgana, because I'm really curious about what happens. Hello, Anya. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. Kitty. My kitty kitty. I haven't changed a bit? If you seriously believe that, then I've got news for you, pal. Anyone who acts exactly the same as they did in the past is doing just that, acting, much like I do around you. Our friendship will never change. Oh my god, this psycho. I was just about to shower. I'll shower later. Oh my god, I need to shower later too. Look at it. We're on the same wavelength. Oh my god, this music. You, Maria, you suck. I hate you. You suck. Ha, what a fucking joke. You picked the wrong girl to put your trust in. And they call you astute. Can you taste the fucking irony? Well, that just makes things easier for me. But my god, it is suffocating playing the good girl. That stupidly cheerful little ray of sunshine, Maria. Oh my god. Maria's savage? Yeah, what the hell? Ugh, sickening. On the other hand, the payoff is fantastic. I can't stop. God, watching him lose his cool was incredible. My sides hurt just thinking about it. What the hell? Wait, so... what is wrong with her? So you're saying you're telling me she wrote this? Who else could have written it? It's in her handwriting. Why? Why must she continue to betray me? Has she not taken enough already? What else could she possibly want from me?
Told her to stay away from the gatherings. They had the rose garden torn down, and yet she still finds other men. I warned her. I told her it wouldn't happen again. If she betrayed me one more time, I'd kill her. Jacob. On my way, Maria, I have to talk to her. Ask her what this letter about who this man is, and depending on how she answers. Hold it, Jacob. Calm down. Silence. How am I supposed to keep calm right now? Listen to me. Relax. Try to talk to her right now, you aren't going to get anywhere. You're just aware of how friendly you are, aren't you? Besides, you think she's going to tell you the truth even if you do manage to ask? Of course not. She may look all prim and proper, but that's not the real her. I don't think she's a bad person, but not a bad person. The woman wrote this letter. Another man. She crossed the line, you hear me? God, this is horrible. I agree with you there. She's gone too far with this letter. Remember, she's your wife and the daughter of a noble. You know exactly what will happen if you lose control of yourself and do something to her. It's not gonna look good for you. She may be mobility, but I have the Kraska. We have our way of taking care of these kinds of problems. Still, it's plain as day it'll only make a bigger mess. No one else knows about this yet. Are you telling me that nothing's happening? And she so blatantly disrespects me. Jacob, could you let me take care of her? I'm friends with the madam, you know that. She'll listen to me, so I'll make sure it gets through to her, just how much you care about her. I couldn't ask you, it would be disgraceful. There's nothing you should have. But I tell you, I'm on your side and you're on mine. We're in this together, you can ask me things you can ask others to do. I have tight lips. Anything you ask, I'll keep absolutely under wraps. She just loves it. That's why abusing your child does to them, Rosa. Was she really abused or something? Damn it. Yes, you're right. I'm well aware I've lost myself in your presence. If I try talking to her now, I probably will do something rash, yes. I'll make sure everything works out, got it? You and Madam can go back to the way things used to be, so you don't have to suffer anymore. I'll take care of it. I'm the only one who understands your pain. And I'm the only one who can help you out of it. Maria. Oh, don't to make that face, Jacopino. Thank you, Maria. Please let her know that even if she's seeing other men, even if she does silently mock me for not being a noble blood, that I still love her, that I don't want to raise my hand against her. That's just an Umi reference? Oh, sorry. You love her? That's a riot. You're too busy chasing your stacks of paper. You don't have what it takes to truly love a woman. I will say though, I was surprised you lost your head that badly. So she hates him, I think? Is that what this is? She hates him because of the family thing and now she's getting back at him or something? Quite the little crush you've got on her. You could just sit down and talk to her like a rational human being and presto, all your problems would be solved. You can't even manage that, which is why you're in this predicament. Once you've convinced of something, Jacob, you never let go of it. She's too timid to speak up for herself. Sorry, madam. I got nothing against you. It's just I didn't expect things to go quite this well. There's no stopping now, not when I've got this much momentum. Also, watching a pretty girl like you break down gives you goosebumps. You're still convinced I'm the only person you can trust. How did he react to the letter? Well, yeah, about that. Did he not take it? No, he took it, just, don't feel too bad about this matter. He said he's too busy with work and he tossed the letter aside. Told him to make sure he writes you a 5, but he hasn't gotten around to it at all. I see. That's a shame. It feels me to see you like this, madam. I don't get why he has to be so heartless. Not even taking a little bit of time out of you to read the letter you poured your soul into writing. It's unacceptable. I'm sure he really is busy. He didn't throw away though, did he? I imagine he needs to read it when he has more time. Madam, after everything he's done, do you still think he means well? I have faith. My timing was poor, that's all. I believe in him. I believe the day will come when he gives you the intention again as he did before. Madam, so could I ask you to believe with me, Maria? To have faith that he will once more show me his love, and that mine will reach him. Something tells me it will all work out if you pray for me. Yeah, okay, fine, you can pray, I'll pray. I'll get down on my knees for you, madam. I have faith. Thank you. I would like to read the letter. When it's complete, can I see you deliver it to him? You know, as many as you want. As many as it takes for you to get there now. You really ought to learn not to be so trusting, madam. You have to take a real close look and know exactly who it was that ground your happy little life in the dust. Thank you, Maria. Aha, I'm the reincarnation of the Mother of God. Oh God, I can't hold back the laughter. The stage of my own creation.
he did have enough actors, so the playwright had to take on the role herself, but that's not actually a segment.
Chiaki reference? I'm just kidding. And this all my masterpiece. You're all just ignorant puppets dancing to my tune. From the first shot to the last, bind to whoever's finger is sitting on the trigger.
Listen to me, Jacopo, and try to keep your head. I saw the madam meeting with another man behind your back. You know the arch in the rose garden? The far side out of sight from the mansion, making it the perfect place to hide. I saw her back there. From the looks of it, the madam is having her meetings with one of the men who comes to your business gatherings, and they don't act like they're just friends. But just to be clear, I don't have any solid proof, so it's best you didn't mention this to her yet. You wouldn't want to start throwing accusations only to find out too late it was a big misunderstanding. I'll get to the bottom of it, so you... I think the madam might have her eyes on several men. Being a woman, you know, I can tell these things. She's giving these suggestive looks, but to whom I can't pinpoint. A lot of people come in and out of this house after all. What, you want to keep her from leaving your room? That might be for the best. With so much going on, makes me think even God's on my side. They could just talk it over with one another. But they won't, and they're in deeper and deeper shit for it. You're the only one I can trust, Maria. And the timing that night, my God, was perfect. Hey, Jacob? Could be misreading her, but something seems off about the madam, like she's been on age or something. I tried to egg her into revealing what's going on, and she let slip that she might be going out somewhere tonight. She's not going with you, is she? You're going out to survey a construction site today, right? And I suggest you take care of that quickly. A dance at this time of night? Yep, and it's so late, no loud music. All you get is a little whistling and Gracie and me. The room is too small for her. We'll use the Great Hall. Wouldn't that put us in everyone else's way? He would probably complain about the noise too. No need to worry. Jacob was out expecting some factory or something tonight. After that he's got a meeting, so he's staying the night elsewhere. I thought you would not be back until tomorrow. Maria lied as naturally as she breathed, holding. I know, right? What the hell? And how did you know that? Don't forget that. Does my staying the night elsewhere have any effect on you? You were just waiting for this opportunity, weren't you? No, what would I possibly want you at the house for? I'm sure you know better than anyone. What? What is that smell? Perfume? When did you get perfume? And I have to say you to be having quite the time. Look at you, you're out of breath, red as a beet. I made the right decision coming back. Where the hell were you going? I'm sorry, this is all my fault. If I hadn't asked you to dance, and me bringing the perfume only made things worse. No, you need not feel bad about anything, Maria. Everything you did was with my best interests at heart. She doesn't even suspect me the slightest. Oh, and I was able to put that perfume into great use. That money-soaking leech, Thomas, showed up at the perfect time, too. I'm pretty sure that's some joke before starting actually violent. A jealous man is a wonderful thing. Always imagining the worst and making matters worse for it. Wow, is that you, Tommaso? It's been so long. What brings you here? Oh, looky who it is, Miss Campanella. There's a surprise. I didn't expect to see you on this side of the Great Blue. Oh, you know, I've been giving Jacopo a hand. Oh, well, color me impressed. After what happened, I wouldn't imagine you'd want nothing to do with him. That was between our parents. Jacopo didn't have anything to do with it. Well, sure would be nice for all you younger generation to go through life with nothing to spark that kind of powder keg. Not that it's my place to talk. No need to worry yourself about any of that. So what brings you here, Tommaso? I'm a little, you know how it is, having a bit of trouble staying afloat. Oh, I see. So you're here to beg for offering? Pretty shameless, Tommaso. No point having shame if it ain't making money. Toss that out with the chamber pot. Hell, might make things easier if I just quit being a human altogether. Are you that hard for cash? Fortunately, numbers were supposed to go up, but for some reason they ended up going down instead. Haha. Might be best if you kick the gambling habit. No, that's like telling me to go off myself. Haha, I bet. Say, Tommaso. Maybe I could pitch in a bit too? Oh, you mean it'd be a huge help? Seriously, not a scrap of shame in you. However, in exchange, I'd like you to do something for me. Someone whose face needs a visit from my fist. Depending on the number, I could possibly cut him into chunks and toss him in the ocean. Whoa, keep it clean. I'm not asking you to do anything like that. What is it then? Something a lowlife like me can do? It'll be easy. And it's nothing bad either. You're going to talk to Jacopo, aren't you? There's something I'd like you to tell him while you're at it. You know he's married, right? He got pretty nasty with his wife, though. That's so, since I just got a run. She does, and she's religiously devoted, too. I've been trying to nudge things in the right direction to get her back in return with them, but I haven't had much luck. Ain't that something the two of them should work through? Normally, yes, but it's reached a point where I can't bear to sit back and watch anymore. I don't like seeing the two of them in pain. I want to do something for them. How noble. You're pretty devoted yourself, little lady. Huh, I'm not important right now. I'm just doing the right thing. But you know, the thing is, Jacopo wouldn't hear a word of it. I figured maybe you being a man might be able to get through to him a little better than me. And that wasn't me either, to be honest. Come on, you used to be really close though. I doubt he hates you. Don't be so sure about that. Anyway, talking is something anyone can do. So what do you want me to tell him? I need to give him a bit of a scolding. Tell him the madam came to me for advice and that she absolutely let slip the way he treats her day-to-day causes her grief. Never met his wife before, you know. It works better that way. She's so downtrodden she can't talk to anyone about it. She thought maybe you being family might be able to help. She never met you, but she still lashed into the ray of hope. I'm sure when Jacob finds out she brought it up with family, he'll know he can't keep mistreating her. Things like this, they hit home harder when they come from someone on the outside. You make a decent point. Just remember, little lady, all I can do is bring it up with them. Can't guarantee it'll change nothing. That's all I need you to do. Thanks a bunch, Tommaso. Alright, one more thing. This is a perfume that's going quite popular recently. Ask him to give it to the madam as a gift. If you won't take it, keep it. Give it to another woman, sell it, whatever you want. Perfume, eh? Very thoughtful of you. Women do like getting gifts like that. Yes, we do. If big bad Jacob gives her some of that, they'll be lovebirds again before you know it. I'm sure of it. Never thought the date come when I got to play Cupid. Now I'm starting to get kind of excited about this. Stay focused, Thomas, and thanks. Also, you didn't hear any of this from me. I'm fine just playing the strings from the shadows. Their relationship's in complete shambles, and Jacopo still insists he fucking loves her. And the madam says she still believes in him. Seriously, how stupid can you be? Poor Jacopo, poor madam. Now then, let's see where this boulder rolls next, and how far it keeps rolling. Naturally, I will be nudging it along its way. Because after all, a play lives or dies by the director's hands. Master, are you shocked? Or do you instead lament this development? I was deeply sorrowful, though to a lesser degree about Maria's true intentions and more my shameful inability to recognize her machinations. The only time I do believe Maria was the white-haired girl's one and only ally. It was not until everything had drawn to a close I discovered the truth. Then I now know how the tale ends, you say? Yes, that is correct. Well, aware it was not the case, I told her the story in a way that suggested she was on the white-haired girl's side. Oh my, I wonder if that constitutes lying you, Master. I merely wanted to present the events to you in order, starting from the beginning, when Maria's ill intentions were still veiled in shadow. I want you to know the same feeling of consternation I had experienced. Aww. The white-haired girl continued to write letter after letter. They were all addressed to her dear husband, dealing her ever-persistent love for him, her desire for their relationship to return to what it once had been. My beloved, I'm sure your hands are quite full right now. That is fine, it does not change my love for you. Do you remember the day we went out together? It was perhaps the most wonderful day of my life. I had a truly incredible time. I'll still treasure the gift you gave to me, but it's the one and only present I have received from you. That reminds me, Maria tried to teach me how to dance. I doubt I would progress beyond being laughably bad, though. It'd be nice if someday you and I could dance together. Perhaps when you have little respite from work, we could go out again, maybe take a carriage somewhere a little farther away, and we could dine in a restaurant in order to your liking. Although I think the cuisine at other restaurants was exquisite personally, I perhaps have an unrefined palate. Maria altered the letters before delivering them to him, however. She changed the address to Jacopo to another man. She had cut away the top of the page with Jacopo's name on it, and the space below wrote a different name. She could not have mimicked the white girl's handwriting for the full length of a letter, but she could make a single name look adequately similar. And it would, after all, been quite difficult to notice minor discrepancies in such a small quantity of text. Again, another letter? Why'd she keep writing these? To Jacobo's eyes, the modified letters looked like professions of love for another man. The more inscribed her feelings for Jacobo, the greater turmoil grew within his heart. Even though her love was directed towards him, I can't believe what I'm reading. A restaurant more to your liking? I knew it. You have been going out with other men, all the while pretending to be chaste in my presence. I still treasure the gifts you gave me. God's sake, you have to be fucking kidding. But I've ensured she can't leave that room. She'll never see this man again. In time she'll let go, and so will he. Listen to me, resigning myself to the hope that everything will fix itself. How did I end up like this? Such a pitiful man I've become. On the surface, Maria acted quite heartbroken at the sight of their suffering, but when she returned to her room, the walls echoed with her cackles. She derived a great deal of entertainment from their squirming. The more they writhed in anguish, the deeper her satisfaction grew. And both the white-haired girl and Jacobo continued to place their confidence in Maria, the one responsible for everything. The white-haired girl never possessed a sense of distrust, and so she took everything Maria said as truth, continuing in her agony to write Jacobo letters. Letter after letter after letter. My beloved, are you still tied up with your work? It has been some time since we last saw one another, so I know not what you have been doing of late. I only hope you remain in good health. I would, if possible, prefer to tell you everything in person, but I don't have the courage, so these letters are my only option. I'm adequately expressing my feelings, my love for you. If you have the time, I appreciate a response. You're never gonna get a response, though, not as long as I'm intercepting them. There's no way I'm allowing these, or your love to get to him. I could just stop reading them. It'd certainly make things easier, but if I don't, my imagination will run wild, fantasizing about her writing to another man, what she might be putting in her correspondence. Be better off knowing the truth than torturing myself with fantasy. It's the better option. Jacobo accepted every letter Maria delivered without fail. He would merely nod as he accepted it, his face contorted in discomfort, then pore over the text when he was alone. Sumi did not want her to see his heart sinking into darkness. He'd put his trust in his wife rather than Maria. He would have almost certainly been able to realize the letters were directed at him, despite the altered recipient name. Everything she wrote about concerned him after all. How could someone who had lived an isolated life as her have many identical experiences with two distinct men? Why could he not find it in himself to trust her? Perhaps doubting was simply easier. If you were in his position, would you trust her? Would you maintain faith in her, the woman who had waited so long? Would you believe the feelings she professed for you were genuine? She continued writing letters day after day, week after week without hiatus. She had by and large run out of things to say, but that did not put an end to her letter writing. She simply repeated what she had written before. Nevertheless, they did not see one another in person. The white-haired girl, forbidden from leaving her shed, could only wait for her husband to pay her a visit. My beloved, there's a little bit of fog out today. Weather like this reminds me of my home country. I was born on an island perpetually covered in thick fog. I'm not saying I'd like to return, but thinking about it does make me feel rather homesick. Does that happen to you? That reminds me, aside from the one time, you've not told me what's your homeland. It'd be nice if we could pay a visit together sometime. Speaking of which, before I left, an exhibition of some sort was held there. But perhaps, I was unable to attend, but perhaps you had the chance when it was near you? I imagine you would have, with your interest in new technology. Next time you have a chance, I would enjoy hearing what they had on display. An exhibition? Oh, that's right, there was one. It was a year ago. Got quite a bit of attention since it was supposed to be held in Paris. I was busy preparing for a wedding. I had no time to attend. While I was doing that, giving you, the woman I'd never met before, my full attention, you were giving yours to a different man. Has this been going on for that long? Had he simply stepped up and taken action, he could have put an end to the stream of letters, each of which gave rise to further misunderstanding. He needed merely ask the white-haired grown person whom the letters were addressed whether they had described were true, and the twisted threads of his confusion would have been unraveled. But he made no such effort, relying instead on Maria to serve as his intermediary. I feel as though I could have now at long last come to an understanding of just what kind of man Jacobo was. While he had a great deal of pride and capabilities, he had far less confidence in himself as a person. If he'd had faith in himself, perhaps he could have put faith in his wife as well. Had his pride not been so twisted, perhaps he would have not been so afraid of being hurt. Indeed, he was afraid of being rejected by her, afraid to face a reality where his beloved partner scorned him, where the woman he loved laughed at him disdainfully, where and countless others mocked him. The thought of it paralyzed him. The environment in which he had been raised played a significant part in his state of mind, I expect. Occasionally, the name on the letter would change. Maria was making the white-haired girl out to be having affairs with multiple other men. She could never do any such thing, of course. But Jacob, thinking Maria to be his only ally, believed everything she said. I could figure out who this man is, where he resides. If I could make him tell me every last detail about his relations with my wife, but what if that information went public as a result? The news of her infidelity spread and were to reach the Casca. Fate of the Berzatis is in your hands, son. The limit to what we can accomplish on this tiny island. If we don't turn our attention outwards, we will wither away and die. And not just this family. Just imagine what Jacob would feel if he finds out the real letter and being betrayed by his trusted one. I know. I don't know. I hope that they eventually learn the truth, but I don't know if they will. This whole land will find itself famished and emaciated, defenseless against invasion as we waste away. I won't stand by and watch my homeland crumble. Sure, methods may be crude and not always worthy of praise, but they produce undeniable results. The unfortunate thing is, the previous Capo Famiglia was an incredibly reticent man. Took all he had to merely preserve a small chunk of the world. But I'm not like that, neither are you. The most I can do is lay the foundation to make it easier for you to work, which means everything rests on your shoulders. Both the future of the Berzati family and the future of this country, it all falls on you. The marriage is happening too quickly? It would be madness not to hurry given the circumstances. You should be well aware of that. We need a Berzati named climbing the social ladder in short order, or we're gonna have everything ripped out from under us. If the woman isn't to your liking, you can find another one that is. She's going to be your wife in name. But listen to me, son. You must not allow her to fool around. What are the most vital things to have in our society? Money? Power? Yes, those are important. What matters most is respect. No one's going to follow a capo familia they can't respect. They'll try to undermine your authority. Once someone deems you weaker than them, courtesy goes out the window, and that's a judgment that's near impossible to overturn. Betrayal spreads like a fire through the forest, and once that flame's lit, the both of us come crashing down. You must not let anyone look down on you. You must not let anyone think you're the kind of man a woman can walk all over. If by any chance your fiancé's ever unfaithful to you, kill her before anyone finds out. Your place is above others. Climb to the top. Never become content with someone above you, and never forget the weight you carry on your shoulders. This is your responsibility. The fate of the Berzatis is in your hand. Kill anyone who stands in your way and for the type. I must keep understanding her letters. I must keep her locked up. I still have work to do. I cannot allow anyone to learn how she's disgraced me. I'd kill her. Till the old man says to handle it. It's the last resort. It's not yet. God damn it. It's downright wrong. For me to even have these feelings for someone. Fuck. Master, your carriage is waiting outside. Are you coming along? Coming? Oh, that's right. I had an inspection scheduled today. Be right out. Have him wait. Something the matter, Master? You look a little hazy. I'm fine. If you're not feeling well, you should stay. I said I'm fine. It's not your job to try and infer my condition. Yes, sir. Damn it, keep it under wraps. Act like normal. You can only see that much, damn you. Take care on your trip, Master. Yeah. It's not the usual coachman. I also feel like I've seen him somewhere. Your fault. What? That way. I speak up. Die, Jacob Berzati. What? Master? There's a knife in your stomach. Oh god, anyone. Silence, don't make a scene. Call a doctor. Yes, sir. I remember where I've seen him before. That's right, I put his factory out of business. I needed it out of the picture to expand my own business. I guess he had a grudge about that. I should have been more careful. Blood flows with surprising abundance from a stab wound. Huh. It's not stopping either. Son of a bitch. The world is going white. Come on now, you have to be kidding.
No, at least let her see him before he dies. What the fuck? I know very well what kind of man you are. You wouldn't hesitate to lead a blind man off a cliff if it furthered your own goals. You make money off others' lives. You stand upon a mountain of corpses, cackling at everyone below you. For a man like you, what comes naturally is flying. Guess what? You don't have any emotions, and you never have. You've always been this way. Ah ha ha ha. My childhood was day after day of mockery. You're just a bunch of nobodies trying to pretend your name means anything, they would say, sneering and glaring. Maria treated me as an equal, but she was the only one. I wanted to show them up, and to do that, I had to rise to the top, or at least high enough that I could laugh at them. My old man wasn't the only one who wanted that. I did too. I had to make them acknowledge that I had value as a man, who actually wants to go through life being laughed at. I had to make them recognize that what I did had value, and I needed neither love nor compassion to do it, or that's what I thought. In the beginning, I only ever intended to use that woman. Simply needed her to build a name for myself. When she served her purpose, I could simply cast her aside. That's what I thought, or rather, that's what I endeavored to make myself think, but deep down I felt bad for her. I pitied this woman who's being made to marry a man she'd never met before. I'm sure what she really wanted was to have a regular marriage with someone she loved. Because her family wanted to cling to their name, she wasn't afforded that opportunity. I wanted to do something for her. It didn't have to be anything grand. I genuinely wanted that. The day of our wedding was when I first saw her. Her face, partially obscured behind the veil, was gorgeous, and crucially, she was smiling at me. I had expected to find only gloom and despondency in her eyes, but instead she smiled. The moment I saw that smile, I wanted it to become a permanent part of my life. I truly did want to ensure she always had a smile on her face. Is this my room? I'm alive? Damn it, I feel nauseous. What time is it? The world's a blur. So hot, you mustn't get up. The doctor said the bacteria entered your body through the wound. Because of that, you have a very high fever. What are you doing here? I was told you'd been badly wounded, but thankfully it was not fatal. How did you make it out? Pardon? I see Maria opened it. Would you like some medicine to reduce the fever? It should help you feel better. Yes, no. Stay by my side for a bit longer. Is there anything I can do for you? You can ask me anything. My hand. Your hand? Could you hold my hand? If you don't want to, that's fine. Like this? Your hand's quite cold. Probably feels that way because of your fever. Ah. So, yes? I've done some regrettable things to you. Please forgive me. To tell you the truth, from the moment I first saw you, I felt like you were what I'd been searching for my whole life. Laugh if you'd like. I felt like I'd finally found you. But I couldn't act around you the way I honestly felt. You should get some sleep. Could you keep holding my hand until I fall asleep? If you don't want to, that's what. My hand is in yours. Thank you. You appear to be quite delirious, Master. Those are things you should be telling your wife, not me. Aww. It was all a dream. Of course it was. It wouldn't be that easy. She would never come to my room. She's involved with other men. Jacob, oh, may I come in? I have another letter. White-haired girl's persistent letters did not prove anything, but simply stoked the flames of misunderstanding. This continued for several months. Though outside the sun shone with gentle warmth of spring, the cold, bitter winds of winter still relentlessly blew Jacopo and his wife. Not allowed to leave her shed and never receiving a reply to her letters, the white-haired girl's only source of information was Maria. Week after week, her circumstances remained the same, but something else was beginning to show signs of change, her mental state. It's pointless, madam. You're only wasting your time at this point. So I'm throw your letter in the fireplace. He's not going to read anything you write, no matter how much of your soul you pour into it. He cares more about money and work than love. That's the kind of man he is. Just give up and file divorce already. Oh, that's her goal. It makes sense now. She wants him to lose his name.
I will get through to him. Everything will go back to normal. I have faith. All my letters may go up in flames, but my faith will not be lost with them. As long as I keep writing, eventually I will get through to him. I cannot stop. I cannot. Do you have any idea what he says about you, madam? Jacob doesn't trust you in the slightest. He goes around calling you a witch. A man-eating devil woman. It's awful. There's no one as pure and beautiful as you. He says I am a witch? Listen to me, madam. He never for a second actually loved you. He just wanted the influence attached to your name. Wanted to mingle with the upper class. This is so mean. This is making me so sad. That's not even true. He used you. The last year when we went out together, he gave me the Fanakis wheel at the photography shop. He had the owners make it especially for me. He's just trying to win your favor. If he really cared for you, he wouldn't have gotten you a paper toy. He would have gotten you something nice like a ring or a necklace or some perfume or a nice dress. Something you women really like. Has he ever given you anything like that? He doesn't have any feelings for me? Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't stand to see you going through this, but I don't know when to shut my fat trap. I went too far. The last thing I need to be doing is hurting you worse. You know, for everything I've said, your unwavering dedication is really impressive, madam. I know I've suggested you get a divorce, but to be honest, part of me doesn't kind of want you to split up. Despite knowing you staying with him just causing you pain, you've made it this far. I'd like to see you make it all the way. Maybe he actually will start paying attention. Your sweetness can melt even his heart of steel. Yes, you're right. I will keep waiting, keep writing. I will not divorce him. Yeah, all right. So please keep delivering my letters to him. You're my only remaining connection to the outside world. Oh yes, one more thing. If it's not too much trouble, could you tell me how he has been and what he's been doing lately? I don't have much else to write about, so I could at least relieve him some of his work-related stress. I am his wife after all. Should be able to do that much for him. I am his wife. Her dedication to him was perhaps closer to an obsession, but she did not seem to be conscious of the fact that her obsession was killing her. She was visibly losing weight, her spirit was breaking down. It's said that emotions fade with time, but the opposite can also be true. The act of waiting or fervently believing something for so many months, despite the objects of one's affection not returning to them, can tear apart a person's heart, crush their soul, shatter their spirit. Hi, kitty kitty. Wait, let me pet my cat really quick. She's being cute. Hi, baby. Hi, Tallulah. Did I just hear kitty? Yes, you did. It's my kitty, Tallulah. She's my baby. Giving her some pets. No matter how radiant, how thick-skinned they may be. With enough time, it will wear anyone down. No one is immune. Hello, cat. Hi, Titi. Are you a good girl? Yes, you're a good girl. It's pointless, Jacobo. Wait all you want, you won't get her back. She's gonna be writing letters. She could at least write one for you. She looks so pure, pretty as an angel. But God almighty, it's only how she looks. Maria, this is making me so mad. Changed a bit. What have I? The old you would be yelling and screaming, chomping at the bit to go storming in on the madam. Now you just go quiet. I'm just a little tired. You could break it off then. What? You already made a name for yourself in high society. Nobody's gonna suddenly start ignoring you. You've more than put her family name to good use. Put it in your own words, it's no longer necessary. This isn't something I really want to say, but the madam has never liked you. She was married off to a total stranger and forced to leave her home. Sure, she felt very alone, and so she sought the companionship of other men. Anyone who wasn't you probably seemed quite attractive to her. So without getting violent or threatening to kill her or anything, just end it already, quietly without a fuss. It'll be easier for you that way. I cannot, because you still love her. It's wonderful, Jacobo. After everything, you still love her. That's just blind, slavish devotion at this point. Perhaps it is a foolish, unhealthy obsession, but I do not wish to sever ties with her. I cannot get the image of her smile out of my head. The utter look of elation on her face as she saw look through the phenakistoscope. Those captivating eyes beneath the veil at our wedding. I will never, for as long as I live, forget those sights. Color me surprised. You're a sentimental one. I guess you always have been kind of mushy, haven't you? True to your heart, despite how you may look. That's not a bad thing, though, in my book. There's nothing but pain in it for you now, but all you can do is wait until she stops writing. But don't worry, if you need to let off some steam, I'm all ears. I'll be here until she breaks it off with the other men. No, that will not be necessary. What? I know very well that things cannot continue on as they are forever. I knew it from the beginning and still couldn't do anything. This time I'm planning on facing her myself. Are you serious, Jacobo? Yes, I've relied on you for too long. I was afraid of what I might do to her. I didn't want anyone to find out my wife was being unfaithful. I thought the best way to ensure that was by locking her up away from anyone else. But the situation is not going to improve unless I do something. If I allow things to continue as they are, sooner or later a word of her infidelity will leak. So before that happens, I must face her myself. I must do something. It's probably best if you didn't. I'll tell her anything you want. Make sure things start improving. I appreciate everything you've done, and I apologize for getting you involved in our troubles. But I'm going to end it now. No, I must put an end to it. This is a problem between me and her. You mustn't get violent, or you might get violent if you see her face to face. Yes, I might. I might do something that would look rather bad for me. But it reaches a point where until the two of us face up to each other, it's never going to go away. It took me far too long. I wasted too much time trying to find my resolve. I see. You'll need a way to break the ice then. Break the ice? Right. If you got some convenient excuse to talk to her, it'll reduce some tension and make it easier to bring up what you need to bring up, right? Here's an idea. The Transcontinental Railroad you've been funding. It's supposed to be opening up pretty soon, isn't it? Yes, it is. There's a message by telegraph when it happens, right? You can ask her to be there to hear it, and then you can invite her to ride the first train. Put your heart and soul in this project, and it's finally being realized. It's going to be an amazing day for you, a day that's ripe for more good things to happen. It's going to be the accomplishment of a lifetime. Don't look so down in the dumps. You're sending trains across the massive continent, carrying them on people of this country's dreams. Who says you can't stick a dream of your own in it too, right? Yes, you have a point. A railroad that spans from coast to coast. She's a sickly girl, which might make long trips difficult. This new rail system should make it much less straining. Allow me to show her the world. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm getting excited myself. It'll go great, I'm sure of it. Yeah.
Maria, it'll be appreciated if you just shut the fuck up. I know, right?
Poof. Ha 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 ha. Oh my god, my fucking sides. Seriously, they're a goddamn riot, both of them. They keep on trusting me and keep getting hurt. They don't have to be going through any of this. My god, Maria, you're terrible. All these people call me the Holy Mother. I bet the real Mary's rolling in her fucking grave. Haha. Now, I must say, I wasn't expecting you to make a move, Jacopo. A shame that squirming loser, paralyzed by insecurity, is a better role for you. If they do end up figuring it off, tough shit. Doesn't hurt anything, just takes away a bit of my fun. I don't understand why he's so infatuated with this railroad. I mean, I do sort of get romanticizing steel, but my kind of steel is a little smaller scale. Anyway, I suppose it's about time to get things moving. No matter how this plans out, you will not have a happy ending, Jacobo. You're gonna get a real taste of just how much I despise you. Maria, there you are. What is it? I'm on break now. You were assigned to clean the cellar today, weren't you? Well, Hedgemade saying it hasn't been done yet. What? I did, I cleaned it. Just a casual once-over, but hey. Well, do it again and do it right this time, because if you don't, it's gonna fall on me. And that's supposed to make me give a damn? I mean it, you take care of it. You get enough special treatment as it is. Yeah, right. I heard you the first time, I'll take care of it. And don't you forget it. For God's sake, why should I actually be the one to tell her? She gone? Oh, what a pain. Who cares if the damn cellar's clean? Not like anyone's bringing guests down there, yeesh. Guess I should take care of it. Better than a tongue lashing by the head maid. God, why did I have to be a maid anyway? What a dank place. Ugh, it's so dark and humid down here. It makes me feel gross. Huh. Someone there? Hello, is anyone in there? She came from far in the woods. Seriously dark back here. I was supposed to clean this last week. We'll clean the whole damn thing next time, damn it. Just makes my job harder. Cough, disgusting. Damn cobwebs. Oh my god, oh dear god, I do not want to clean this. Ow, for God's sake, sack this stuff properly. Now I'm gonna fix the whole mess. For the love of, What's this? Something carved into the floor? I never noticed this before. Someone got bored one day? What do we have here? Oh, it's mostly illegible. Let's see.
It's not written in English, but my native language. But it's not modern, it's really archaic. Why on earth would an old form of my country's language be carved into the floor of a mansion built here in the New World? Most of it is illegible, but I can make out one section. Our lives. Our lives shall be forfeit to the witch's curse. Nevertheless, we must lay bare those sins upon their souls, for the redemption of those who are pure. Should you mean not to dispel your curse, we implore of you a witch, to mark it with only their bloodlines. The blood of the sinners flows through those who dwell within this house. But not I. What in the witch? That's crazy. That's crazy. But why does the handwriting look like mine? It's just coincidentally similar. No one's handwriting is perfectly unique after all. Why am I so sweaty? It's not that hot down here. Don't forget it, didn't see a thing. Not a chance it's real, just a tasteless prank. This is silly. Huh? There's something in this box. Is that a painting? Has it always been there? Huh? White hair, fair skin. Is this the madam? But then, why is the face all torn up? And her clothes look really old-fashioned. The painting seems worn and faded too. Something about it feels off. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's very creepy, unsettling. The writing on the floor in this painting. What is with this house? It's just a painting. Nothing you're weirded out over. I bet I know what happened. Jacob Poe probably slashed up in a fit of jealousy. He is a simple man. Seeing this probably wouldn't put him in the best mood. Ha ha ha. What was that? Is someone there? The door is open. Nobody's there. What's this, a painting? Who could have left it here? Is that me? But my face, it's been cut. No. Why would someone have this painted just to do this? Who would do such a thing? You're like a witch, my dear, like a demon. Your very presence brings misfortune upon others. You're cursed. No, I'm not. I am not. Was it you, Jacopo? Did you have this painted so you could destroy it? Do you really despise me to that extent? Why do you... What did I ever do to make you hate me so? Why? All I'm doing is waiting for you, you worthless tramp. Are those ears only for show? This house has no need for a garden. I always thought you at least had some sense of taste. Silence, it's all your fault, every last thing. Then say goodbye to your freedom, I'll kill you. Does the mere act of waiting impose upon you? Does my mere presence pervert you? Would it be better if I were gone? Would it be better if I left this mansion? If I left you? I don't think I can wait much longer. There's no end in sight. I can't take it any. There is no end, no. I will set a deadline for when I give up waiting. When the project you pour your heart and soul is complete, when the railroad opens, I will be finished waiting. Then it's over. I think I'm gonna pause here. Bat Morgan. Have you played this game, Sylvia? I only played a... Oh, I planned more? Oh, then, because I'm on the third door. Have you played past that? Because if so, I don't want to spoil you. Like an hour in or so? Oh, I'm definitely past that. Okay. So yeah, I don't want to spoil you. Here, you want me to switch games then? I can go to a different game. I hope you enjoy and have heard great. I really like it. You don't need to excuse me, you don't need to switch. Are you sure? Yeah, I definitely recommend you keep playing it, Sylvia. I've liked it so far a lot. Then we can talk about it. Also, just look at this picture. It's just so good. How could a game with this picture not be good? Is Strange still here? Stretchy. The Pacific Railroad's last fake ceremony is drawing nearer by the day. Now it's not just about love, it's also about politics and social links and stuff. Machiavellian tactics and can't lose face in front of my boys because my wife is cheating on me. Yeah, I'm cooking and playing and watching. Currently I'm playing 13 Sentinels. Oh, nice. That day was coincidentally the deadline the two of them had set for themselves. Jacopo to confront his wife and the white-haired girl to wait for him. Heard that was bussin'. And replaying Near Automata because Switch Edition. Oh, nice. And as that day approached, she continued to write letters. She wrote letters purely by force of habit, despite having been worn visibly thin. I expect that she not stopped, that the act of writing was all that kept her from going mad. There's one thing I liked from that last stream, Tomas. By focusing her attention on another person through her letters, she was able to maintain a grip on herself. But that day would put an end to her suffering and despair. When the railroad was complete, all their misunderstandings would be cleared up. They would return smiling, happy couple when they were first married. The harsh winter would finally come close, melting away into the past and allowing them to step into the future. With constant prayer in my heart, I impatiently awaited the railroad's opening ceremony. Maria's like, I need a favor, and he's like, okay, who do I kill? We all need a Thomas. I do not, after all, wish for anyone to fall into any kind of misfortune. And that goes for you as well, Master. Now, Master, the door is soon to be shut upon this era. Are you prepared to see what happens next? I see. Very well. Then allow us to make our way to that final day. Oh, jeez. See with your own eyes, Master, how this tale concludes. And please do not let go of my hand. The night before the opening ceremony, the master of the house headed for his wife's shed. There was a tension on his face, but surely in his step. He had found the resolve to speak with her. Having locked her away for so long in a shed like a common prisoner, Jacopo was hardly optimistic about what she might say to him. He had undeniably mistreated her, said heartless and cruel things to her. Hi, Anya! And even got physically violent with her. His actions were inexcusable, even if they were in response to her infidelity. Of course, the very infidelity which had driven him to such behavior had not in fact taken place, but he was unaware of that. There was a chance they would never reconcile their misunderstandings, and that this predicament would not have a positive resolution. But he still clung to a tiny fragment of hope. He wanted to start over with the white-haired girl, to make a new future with her. With that desire burning strong in his heart, he stood before the door to her shed and called out to her. Are you awake? It's me, Jacopo. May I come in? I won't hurt you. I will not raise my hand against you again. I swear to you I will do you no harm. I just wish to speak. I'd like to have a calm, rational conversation, and as such I will not enter your room until you have given me your permission. So may I please come in? You won't even give me a response? Alright. Considering how you feel about me, I shouldn't be surprised. Fine, then you don't have to let me in. But please at least hear me out. She's probably already dead. Is it at least gentlemanly here? Do you remember the day shortly after we first met when we went on our honeymoon, if you can even call the little walk we took a honeymoon, I was able to do anything nice for you then either. I had no experience, no idea how to interact with an upper class woman like you. I didn't know what I should do for you. Yeah, I was thinking she's gonna kill herself before you got to kill her. She's so sad, yeah. And yes, I know that makes me sound juvenile. I have a tendency to say things I don't mean, the more perturbed I get. I'm sure I said things to hurt you numerous times that day. However, at the photography shop, when you saw the phenoctoscope, you smiled for me. I was genuinely pleased in that moment. I felt like I had gotten closer to you. I very much doubt that was actually an appropriate present for a noble woman like yourself. Jewels or flowers or something like that, something beautiful, would have certainly suited you better. And I knew that, but I assumed you would have been given gifts like that countless times in the past. You are, after all, a beautiful woman. I did not want to have to compete on the same field as those other men. I wanted to be special, and I wanted to be unique to you. No one had ever shown you anything of the sort before, had they? Frankly, I wasn't sure if a woman of your status would take any interest in a phenactoscope at all. I imagine you've thrown it out by now, but I choose to believe you sincerely liked it on that day. And then he gets crushed, destroyed. I know, right? That's probably what's gonna happen. That if just for a moment I caught your eye, even if you started seeing other men afterwards, that moment was real, wasn't it? Our marriage was at its core nothing but an arrangement between our parents, an exchange of money and influence. That was how it began, but on that day I loved you. I yearned to see you smile as if I had loved you my entire life. The Pacific Railroad has finally been completed. That's the project I've been funding. Everyone thought it was crazy, but railroad now stretches across the breadth of this country. A joining ceremony will be held tomorrow. It's going to be a grand event. Luckily, they're planning on doing a gun salute. I think Bunny's right again. Is freaking dead already? I think I'm right, yeah. And the sound of the last spike being driven into the ground will be transmitted across the country via But I think she might have also just wasted away. Like, maybe she didn't necessarily kill herself. Maybe she just wasted away because she's been so weak. I have procured a telegraph so we can listen to it here in the mansion. In your condition, you'd probably have trouble handling the crowds at the telegraph station. But here you could celebrate in the comfort of your own home. I suppose what I'm saying is I want to celebrate this with you. I made the arrangements to make that possible for you because I wish to have you there with me. Would you be willing tomorrow to celebrate the completion of the Pacific Railroad with me? Would you be there at my side? Please say something. I want to start over. I know very well what I've done to you. You may be at fault yourself, but what I did is unacceptable. But what I did was a consequence of my overpowering love for you. I swear it. Why will you not answer me? Say something, anything. Please, please. You can hear me in there, can't you? If you don't want to, you can just say no. If you do reject me, I'll set you free. I won't hurt you, I promise. The door's not locked? Who opened it? Hello? A humid spring breeze brushed against his cheeks. The drawn lace curtains appeared to glow in the gentle moonlight. The white-haired girl was not in her room. Where have you gone? Stupefied, he gazed around his wife's chambers. To my eyes, the neatly organized room appeared no different than any other day, but to his eyes it was pale and hollow. For the one who was supposed to be there, who was supposed to be waiting for him, was not present. He could not hear her voice from anywhere in the shed. In this place echoed a dry rustling. Sad, pitiful, empty whisper of a noise came from a lone object left abandoned on top of her desk, the phenactoscope. The one present he had ever given the white-haired girl, a toy made of paper. When it spun and viewed in a mirror, it created the illusion of a man and woman dancing. You still had this? That's ridiculous. I assumed you'd thrown it out. The white girl had eventually made considerable use out of it. The paper was visibly worn and tattered, warped in places, and even begun to yellow. It spun slowly in the wind, rustling, and rustling, spinning in an endless reminder of the day that year before, though there is no longer anyone around to look through it. Why would I? You were with other men. Why would you keep something I gave you? It's so worn. Why? A letter? As if drawn to it, he scanned the contents of the parchment. It was a letter addressed to Caro mio Jacopo. The salutation, written in his native language, translated as follows. My beloved Jacopo, did the fruits of your dream turn out as you had hoped? I'm gonna cry. I'm sure it was wonderful, impressively fast. A train that can travel across a continent as large as this is like something out of a story. I wish I could have been there to see it. I'm sure you would have been quite pleasant. Like the day you gave me the Fnac is real. Am I being presumptuous? I'm sorry. I thought I would keep waiting for you forever, no matter how much you hated or ignored me. But I made up my mind, so I'm sorry. I decided I'd wait for you until the railroad was completed. I foolishly thought you might invite me to the opening ceremony, but it seems I'm not good enough for you. I'm gonna take my leave of your house, so you needn't concern yourself with me any longer. However, I do have one request. Please do not forget about all the letters I wrote. Think back on them from time to time. Do not burn them all, for they contain my thoughts, my feelings, my words, a record of my love for you. Remember when you can that I was always watching you. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble writing. My ears are ringing. There's a voice whispering to me, calling me a witch. Maybe it's your voice. My vision is a blur. I'm not even sure what's going through my mind. Sorry this was all I was able to write for you. I'm truly sorry. I will leave the Fnac Food behind. It was my dearest treasure. Farewell. I loved you. What the hell is this? He was visibly rattled, and unsurprisingly so. The mention of the Transcontinental Railroad's opening ceremony, the letter she had written, her dearest treasure, a profession of love for him, and above all, the mingled text that appeared to have been written by someone not entirely in their right mind. Everything about it served to amplify his befuddlement. You waited for me? How can that be? The joining ceremony's tomorrow. It hasn't happened yet. Why did you have to leave then? I'm here. I came for you just as I planned. The ceremony's on the 10th. This letter was written on the prior day, May 8th. Originally, the ceremony had been planned to be held on May 8th. However, due to bad weather and a labor dispute, it had been postponed for 2 days. This can't be. I made sure you were informed. I had Maria, no, you couldn't. Scattered fragments of memory began coming together in his mind. Maria was the only one who had informed him of his wife's supposed unfaithfulness. And though the letters had not been addressed to him, thinking back on it, they had all been about him. One letter she had mentioned treasuring a gift. Jacopo had assumed it meant a gift from another man. But in fact, she'd been referring to the phenakistoscope sitting atop her desk, still spinning in the wind. At long last, he finally made that connection. At the same time, he realized the only true person who could have altered the letters was someone they both trusted, Maria. She never even once betrayed me. She was not unfaithful at all. She waited unwaveringly for me, and I refused to believe her. I caused her pain again and again, but his realization came far too late. The white-haired girl's spirit had broken, and she was no longer at the mansion. Had he caught on to Maria's machinations sooner, things would not have turned out as they had. But he was much too late. Maria, why? Why would you do this? Clenching the letter from his wife, he stormed out of the shed in search for Maria. She was not in the room assigned to her. Where are you? Where have you gone? Maria! Several maids were roused from their slumber by the racket, but no one had the courage to speak up as the master of the house frantically charged through the halls. Eventually he arrived at his own chamber. He was certain he had closed the door before leaving, but now a sliver of light shone through the gap between it and the frame. From within the room, he thought he could sense someone's presence. When he opened there he saw confidently perched upon his own chair a woman. I've been waiting, Jacopo. Oh my god, this psychopath. Ew, what a psycho. Nice room you got here. I guess that's only natural, you being the man of the house and all. You have a demon face, lady. All these fancy furnishings, you do know this stuff's too good for you, right? And then me, I get that barren little maid's room. Drives me up the wall, so hey, Jacopo. Clear the air with your little lady yet? Maria. Huh, I love that look on your face. I'm guessing you didn't make things better then. You know good and well that she's not even here anymore. Well, yeah, but I still want to hear you say it, you know? I want to hear from your own mouth that you couldn't keep a leash on your woman, so you locked her up, drove her mad, broke her down, and then she ran away from you. Bah-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. Go on, say something. Climb back on your high horse and start shouting like you always do. Why, Maria? Why would you do this? Why? Why do you think? Because I fucking despise you. I've been trying to figure out how I want to end things, but then they just fell apart on their own. The fates are smiling down on me, I guess. Nonsense. She was waiting for me until the day of the joining ceremony. And I was going to see her on that day. You knew the ceremony had been postponed. That's what you get for putting it all in my hands. For thinking I'm the only one on your side. Would you think I'd just tell her like a good little maid? Not a chance in hell. I mean, talk about some fantastic news. You both picked the same day, but you got the dates different. Absolutely perfect. Maria, is that how you've always felt? How long have you held this grudge against me? How long? How long? How goddamn dense can you be? It must be nice living in your own little fantasy world, Jacopo. And this is the next Capo Famiglia? Oh my god, my sides. So you've always hated me? At the very least, I fucking loathed you since the minute we've had our reunion. First, I did try to convince myself you had your reasons. Didn't make it feel any less unfair, though. You had all your money and all your power and everything else you stole from me. And then you had to go get hitched to this pretty little lady. Don't try to act like you're the victim here. This is all on you. Do you have any idea how I felt? Fallen from grace, made your goddamn maid, having to suck up to you? Do you have any idea how infuriating that was? Or did you think I didn't know anything? Think I didn't suspect anything? If you did, you would have gotten your head way up in the clouds. So you were motivated by your grudge against my family, the Brazzatis? Precisely. That's exactly it. Your father wanted so badly to be the Capo Famiglia, wanted so badly to be in power, that he murdered my dad and grandpa. They say it was a carriage accident. But the ground was all torn to hell where it happened. Want to tell me what kind of carriage accident causes it to explode? As soon as my dad and grandpa died, your dad took over as the Capo Famiglia. The balance of power in the factions began to change. My family, anyone with ties to the Campanellas, was either exterminated or exiled. The Brazzatis took control of the city. My grandpa's Costco became your Costco. No one in their right mind would be naive enough to think the Brazzatis didn't have a hand in that. The great Campanella family bitten by their pet dog. Except the dogs had babies, and as a result, in time that lush historic land will wither away and die. My dad and grandpa, buried in that dried up earth, are screaming in their graves even now. You can't prove me wrong, can you, Jacopo? And now first in line to be the next Capo Famiglia is you, his son, naturally. Feels pretty good, don't it? Slaughtering my family and leaving us to wallow in the mud. Will you live here like a fucking king? Because of what your family did. I don't have a home to go back to anymore. No house, no prestige. I have nothing left. That's goddamn outrageous. The Campanellas are supposed to run that city. But instead, you filthy Brazzati curs are crawling all over like some kind of infestation. I am a legitimate Campanella, but I'm stuck being your goddamn maid. If I hadn't been born a woman, I could have become the Capo Famiglia after my dad and grandpa died. But because I was a woman, I couldn't retaliate, so I had to sit on my hands and do as I was told. It was absolutely miserable. So I had to make you suffer as well. That does suck though, that the only reason she didn't succeed is because she was a woman. But that doesn't justify everything. Like, shouldn't you be targeting his dad who killed your parents, not the son who had nothing to do with it? So I had to make you suffer as well. I had to make you no. I had to make you twice as miserable as I was. You had no reason to hate anyone but me. Why did you make her part of this? Do you hold some grudge against her too? Not in particularly. I actually rather liked the madam. Sweet, pretty, kind-hearted, timid, and fragile. Trusted every word I said. Splendid little toy. You thought of her as your toy? No. Can you really call me out for that? You can't. You have no right. You never cared one bit about anyone else. They're all footstools to you. It's a little late to find yourself a sense of morality. This whole thing, it could have been avoided if you two just had a single conversation. But instead, both of you came crawling to me and said, "You're my only ally, Maria." How dense can you be? Of course, I thought you were my ally. I trusted you, as I'm sure she did too. Then you should get your eyes examined, because you can't see a damn thing. Maria. Haha, my god, it was beautiful. The way you two blindly trusted me, creating your own misunderstandings and causing your own pain. How you could never seem to get on the same page, watching it all fall apart. Maria, is that everything? The extent of your grudge and all you did? Oh, yep, that's everything. All that's left is for me to kill you. I saw that coming. I was, oh my god, shit. Kyrie? Is that you? Literally Kyrie. Hold still now, I wouldn't want to miss. Maria, does our past mean nothing to you? Is that oath just an empty promise? How could it when you remember so clearly? Fine, I'll explain it for a little romantic boy. Fitting I have homemade pizza for this mafia story? Yummy! Bad grown-ups will even take advantage of good memories. It's time I finally return this to you, Jacopo. Oh my god, the cartridge you gave me packed with your disgusting sentimentality. Ha! Oh my god, you hear the laugh? Killing you ain't the end though, and all you Bazzotti curs. I'll send every last one of you straight to hell. My revenge has just begun. Ha 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 ha. Oh. No, I didn't want to be right about that. Even if you had been a man, you wouldn't have been a suitable capo famiglia. You should have aimed between my eyes, Maria. Jacopo. Oh shit. Why? What do you mean why? You shot him, bitch? In panic, I pulled the trigger, and from the barrel a bullet went flying, quite literally between her eyes. Get through 60 no scope. Would anyone ever believe me if I said this wasn't how I wanted things to turn out? I think I'm gonna pause here. My voice is getting kind of scratchy.